Alright, Terraria Part 5. Let's see what happens this time. When I went in, I kinda just walked around and figured what I was gonna do for the days. So I decided that I wanted to finish the tunnel to the Underworld that I was starting on at the beginning of last episode. But I never finished it because it was just so boring. But now I decided I was gonna pull all the time I could into getting into the Underworld. So let's get to that. I found a new kind of tree, I guess. It's a stone tree. I found a couple earlier, but I didn't really know what they were. Lucy actually said something new when I chopped it.
So, stone trees! What's up with that?
I went on mining for a little more, and here's me speeding up at 8 times speed. And yeah, I really didn't get much else other than going down. And then I found another thing called a gemcorn, which I kind of figured out what it did. Turns out that gemcorns are like acorns. Just like you plant an acorn on dirt to get a tree, you plant a gemcorn on stone and you can get a stone tree. So, like, sapphire gemcorns obviously grow into sapphire stone trees. And emerald ones grow into emerald or whatever. I'm not sure if it's emerald. I don't know. But anyways, planting the gemcorns on stone will eventually grow into trees. I don't know if I need to give them the space, but they didn't grow for the remainder of this time that I spent. So, I don't know. Maybe they need to be in the dark or something. Just like last time, water pockets are a huge issue when I'm trying to dig straight down. So I decided to try something a little new. A water bucket. So I basically take the water from one side and put it on the other. It works pretty good, but it still takes a little while. I warped home after my inventory got filled up my chests, and I finally decided that it was time for me to say goodbye to my good friend the miner helmet. Now that I have full crimson armor, I was gonna have to rely on my crimson heart pet to light the way for me. I also grabbed a couple of glow sticks, which I haven't used in some time. The actual reason I decided to get some glow sticks was because of the way they fall. So keeping track of where my hole is kind of a hard issue. So the idea is if I throw a glow stick straight up and mine around it, it'll fall continuously and always let me know what 2 blocks I'm supposed to mine. It helps me out a lot, but it also can sometimes cause issues. Like if I hit lava or something, it'll obviously disappear. After I hit some cobwebs, I got hit by the reason you're not supposed to dig straight down. Yep, a pool of lava. This was going to be a lot harder to get around than water because I can't swim through it. So I had to come up with an out-of-the-box strategy, or I could try digging another spot. Nah. While I was raiding this buried house, a green fairy found me. I didn't know if the different colored fairies led to different things, but I knew it was something good, so I followed it right after I opened this chest. I found a mace, but earlier that day I had actually made the meatball, which basically functions the same, but it does more damage, so I don't really have use for that. I did find 2 gold and a couple dynamite platinum bars and a couple fire arrows, but I don't have a bow, so I can't use those. Anyways, back to that fairy. It was definitely worth it to follow it, though. It led me to a life crystal, which I very much needed. I got back to the lava pool, and my first try was to try pouring water on top of it. To absolutely no one's surprise, it didn't work. It made a couple obsidian, but obviously I can't mine that. So, now what? I was also getting a lot of gold, but that wouldn't matter because I die so often, so oof. I also had 2 suspicious-looking eyes now, so I can fight the Eye of Cthulhu twice. For some reason, there was one in the house that I raided earlier. That's strange. After dying 2 more times trying to get this thing to work, I finally decided to be smart and try and build up right above the lava instead of through the lava. I can't believe it took me that long to figure that out. So now, I kind of had a plan. The plan was to make an entire chamber over there, and then at the last minute, open it up so the lava can flow through there. It kind of worked. I found a small cave here, so yeah. A skeleton was down there, so he was about to get a little bit of a surprise. I broke a block there, and then boom, the lava started siphoning out. This is pretty smart, but it would only go until the lava fell below that stone, so I would eventually have to break it again. So it wasn't foolproof, but it works, eventually. A couple more interesting things happened when I was in, like I found this orange vine cavern, which I really had no idea what this was, but I knew I had to be getting close to the Underworld because there was lava everywhere now. Once again, I found more lava that was in my way, but this time it was just a lava stream, and for some reason if I went right here, then the lava wouldn't hurt me. So I kind of just dug a new area for the stream to flow down, and I went about my business, mining downwards. Literally less than a minute later, and I run into this ginormous lava pool. I couldn't dig a cavern big enough for this. It was going to take a while to make one that big. Well, I guess I better get to it. I found a smaller lava pool below it, and making spots below it was probably going to be the best thing I can do, because all the lava will flow in there until it can't flow anymore. So, yeah, it went down a little bit, but nowhere near enough. There's still a lot left. I started on a bigger cavern, which I sped this part up because it takes a little while. So I made like this little pocket for it to go through, and I dug a lot out. So yeah, I'm not sure if it was enough to get rid of all of the lava, but I just need the lava out of my way. So I kept mining and found that the area I mined out allowed a second lava pocket to come in, so now I had to drain this very bottom pocket right next to me. Also, in the middle of my mining session, I found this big cave, and then a goblin army decided to start charging at my house, or my village. So I had to take a quick break from mining to defend my village. Thankfully, I had a lot more villagers, and what the Dryad did was actually pretty interesting because all the villagers have their own weapons, and the Dryad makes like a shield. I didn't figure this out until after, but I did the flowing lava and then I warped back home. I don't know if it was like my upgraded stuff or the meatball, because the meatball was actually great because it could go through multiple enemies at once. It's like you swing it around and then you cast it forward and then pull it back, and it can hit a lot at once. I don't know if it was my upgraded armor, my better weapons, but this one was so much easier than the last one because I could actually take care of them in like 2 swings. And it's kind of hard to see, but you see those leaves flying around? That's the Dryad doing her thing. I defeated 50 of most of the goblin types. So, yeah, it was a lot easier than last time, and I even beat the entire thing without dying. Back to the cavern. I did eventually drain out this entire area. Like, look at this. Look at all this place I had to drain. Don't ask how long it took. I knew I was getting closer to the Underworld because the background had changed into whatever this is. And then I ran into another lava pool. I guess that's another sign that I'm heading to the Underworld. I just dug down a little more, and I had reached the Underworld. Before I did this, I played on a different character, and I did the special seed that spawns you in the Underworld, so I already got the It's Getting Hun here achievement, but I would have gotten it right now, so yeah. As you can guess, it didn't take me too long to run into demons. And they were pretty easy to take out with my Bloodlust cutter, so yeah. And I decided to keep going down to see just how much farther down I could go. It also looked like my character was falling asleep at this point. Maybe he was tired or something. But his eyes were closed. And just now, I have reached the biggest part of the Underworld. And I found some new thing that lights me on fire when I try and mine it. So I died, and I had just... yeah. But that's the main reason I wanted that thing. So I could jump down the hole and make it all the way to hell. And that's actually for a special achievement called To Hell and Back, where you go down to the Underworld and then go back up in one swoop. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, but I'm not going to go for that right now. It was nighttime at this point, and I didn't really feel like sleeping through, so I decided to use my 2 suspicious-looking eyes and fight 2 Eye of Cthulhu's back-to-back. I actually beat them in a little over 2 minutes, So, yeah, my armor's getting pretty good, and my weapons are getting pretty good if I can take out one Eye of Cthulhu in a minute. So, yeah, I'm just about to finish this one off, and I go and just use the second one. I already had full health, so I didn't even bother to heal. Yeah, I'm getting really good at this. I killed this one even faster than I killed the last one. Obviously, I'm speeding this up because it would be a little long for me talking through this whole thing. But yeah, I killed 2 of them in one night. By about now, I had a lot of crimtane, so I decided to look at what I could make. And I came across this thing that I will try to pronounce. Magiluminescence. It's a charm that provides light all around me. So it's basically the miner's helmet, but a charm. And all I needed were crimtane and topaz. And as an amazing stroke of luck, I actually had a little bit of topaz in my chests. So now I basically had the miner's helmet, but I did take out that creature locator thing because I didn't even use it that much. I guess all this stuff like going to hell and fighting off a couple demons and fighting 2 Eye of Cthulhu's back to back gave me a bit of a confidence boost. So I decided to go back to that old man by the temple at night because he said I could go and fight his leader at night. I knew it was Skeletron, but I didn't know how powerful he was. But I took out Dear Clops, so hopefully it'll all be okay. I cursed the old man, whatever that button did, and I summoned Skeletron. And honestly, I wasn't that afraid of him. I probably should have had a proper place to actually fight him. But for reference, Dear Clops had 7,000 health, and Skeletron had a little more than half of that, so I wasn't super afraid. So I learned that I had to hit his specific limbs. I didn't know, I just knew what the boss was. I didn't know like how he acted, and that I was pretty much screwed after I fell into this pit. So yeah, I used Lucy to try and chip away at him because Lucy's from Dear Clops, and I fought Dear Clops a little early, but I died. I did get a little bit, but I didn't do that. I did a little well, but I wasn't quite ready for that yet. I went back to base and decided that I had trouble maneuvering around. Like with my grappling hook, it's like good, but that's only useful for like underground. So I decided that I wanted to get myself a pair of wings. The problem with that, I have no idea how I'm supposed to find wings in this game, and I looked at the wiki, and there's only one pair of wings that you can get before you activate hard mode, which is you fight the wall of flesh, but I was nowhere near powerful enough to fight the wall of flesh yet, so I was basically looking at the wiki here. It's paused, so I needed to get these things called fledgling wings, which I could find from Sky Islands. But what I was looking up was how I was supposed to find Sky Islands. Supposedly, Sky Islands could be found by pools of water on the ground. See that tiny pool of water? Supposedly, that had fallen from a waterfall on a Sky Island. So I decided to take all my ropes and build all the way upwards. I didn't know I had used platforms last time I had significantly built upward, so I decided to use ropes this time because that's what a thing I did. I figured that would make the most sense. I also encountered the creatures of the sky. I found a harpy, which it was kind of hard to fight, but it wasn't super bad. It just flew around, and I could just hit it with Lucy when it got too close. But I hadn't really learned a lot, so I didn't think to shoot it with my Undertaker, so I kind of just swung Lucy at it, and it kind of went away. Except it didn't. I finally decided to be smart and shot the darn thing with my Undertaker, and it dropped, actually, I'm pretty sure, a rare drop. It dropped a giant harpy feather, which is apparently a key thing to use when you make fledgling wings, if I were to make them myself, but I need a specific workbench to do that. So, yeah, I need to find the Sky Island, because apparently they can be in chests on these Sky Islands, too. I also killed 200 zombies, and I got another zombie banner. After using a ton of wooden platforms and eventually making silk rope out of cobwebs, I had made it. This was the Sky Island. And low gravity was up here. I saw this chest inside and I saw all the treasures that awaited me up here. There were the rain clouds, and even though I had my parasol, it was quite low gravity. I wondered what I could do with these clouds. Turns out nothing, but I don't know. I talked to Cody later, and turns out they can't do anything. At least I'm pretty sure. I opened this chest, and I found this lucky horseshoe, and it makes me completely invulnerable to fall damage. So, I'm finding a bunch of new stuff. I did replace my fleeting aglet with it because I already had the Hermes boots, which already makes me run faster. I also got this sky mill and this just decoration. The sky mill is used for special crafting, but turns out it's all decoration based. So, it's kind of a waste of my time. I decided to talk to Cody again about what I could do with my giant harpy feather, and turns out I use them for harpy wings. They allow flight and slow falling, but to make them, I need souls of flight, which I had no idea how to get. And I also need a mithril anvil, which I haven't even found mithril yet, and I don't even know what it looks like. So, that's kind of a noof. I went and used a Spelunker potion and just went around. So, and that's about it. I just did more of this, and then my recording stopped because I was tired. I was, like, playing this for a while. So, yeah, if you like my content and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. All the likes and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm so close. So, please, thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Alright, goodbye.